My name is Gareth McNamara. I'm from Dublin, Ireland. I'm black belt under John Kavanagh in SBG Dublin. I have my own academy too, which you're all very welcome to visit. Anytime you visit Dublin, please come and train for free with me. I'm one of the affiliated Globetrotter clubs, so please drop in anytime. I'm of a judo background as well as jiu-jitsu background. I often like to start standing. I've rarely pulled guard myself. So I find that the collar and sleeve guard is a good guard for somebody who isn't a guard specialist, who wants to find something that will fit most of the time, and is a good, effective way into different types of guards, from your De La Rivas and spider guards, etc. It's a good waypoint to work from. It's a good reset position. Let's get into it straight away. We're going to actually start on that note from standing. Christian typically has me do judo classes, so I like to always start things from the feet. So as you compete, I guess you should. So if I come out, my partner takes a good grip. We're going to grip break. So we'll go for a double pocket grip or spider guard grip. So hook your fingers in, squeezing into the palms of your hand. Boom, elbows in. Use your body weight to break it. Boom. I've broken it. I start to curl my fist to stuff it away, and I'm looking to try and get my collar grip on this side with fingers in. Try and get it as high as you can. Ultimately, I'd like it up here behind his neck to start to break his posture with my fingers in here where his label is. But I'll take what I can get right now and go for as high a grip as possible while gripping it nice and tight like a rope, okay? From here, I'm just going to move my partner down and start to move him around. Okay, simple as that. We'll start with that. So one more time. Takes a grip. In, everything close to you, move to break it, stuff it, looking for a high collar grip, okay? And as soon as you get the grip, because if I just take the grip, then he'll have some grip break, or he'll start looking for his own grip. So the instant I get a gripping advantage, I'm going to press that advantage. I don't allow him then to kind of get back to 50-50. As soon as it's broken, and I start to do it, I'm breaking his balance, I'm starting moving him around and disrupting him. And stuffing this away too. Don't allow him just to re-grip with this. So I'm stuffing, going here, and posture is the main thing, right? So pulling his head down, start disrupting his posture. Okay, you have different things you can do to start to elicit the responses out of him, but let's just do the grip break for now and the grip taking. Okay, way to go, guys. 1, 2, 3.
I just am very awake.
So, looking to break the grip, stuffing it across. You don't want to come back around on you, so stuffing is important. I'm going here, and I'm swinging off to the side then to pull guard, okay? I want to try and get my partner's posture broken with his head in front of his feet and his back bent over. So I'm avoiding just sitting down in front of him. I'm putting my foot onto his hip, and I'm sitting off to, like, let's say, 45, 90 degrees off to the side. Don't sit down straight in front, because it's easy then for him to pass your guard. I'm always looking to sit off out to here kind of thing, and then he's being swung down. Okay. So, boom, put your foot, you can either go onto on the hip, so I'm looking to connect either onto here or here. I'm setting up the position where I'm bringing his elbow above him, I'm pulling his head down. This is always awkward. Try and sink your hand a little bit deeper if you can here, getting in behind his neck, and looking to pull his head down below his hips. This is very awkward for everybody because his back is then bent. So I'm looking to get his hips up, pull his head down, and this elbow here is in on the inside of this leg. I don't like when he has no control here, but I have it on here. This is pulling in with my elbow on the floor. I'm looking to break his posture down like so. Okay? So this is probably what we'll end up. So you're breaking, going here, sitting off to the side. Okay, this foot can press on the hip. You know, if he rushes in, of course, you pull in and do some picky up stuff or sweep stuff and tripod sweeps, and you do jiu-jitsu. So you've got options from here, of course. But you're talking about a reset position, 2 feet on the hips, or hands here, going onto the elbow. Use the blade of your foot into the bend of the elbow, looking to get his elbow kind of above his head, and sinking this deeper as you go. behind the neck, behind the neck, pulling it down completely and elbow towards your ribs. This one, elbow towards the ribs on the inside of the leg. And we're working from here. Okay? Give that a go, please, guys. 1, 2, 3. So just playing between the position. Obviously, you want to have contact or connection with your partner. So after you pull guard with this way, come down. Look, don't be careful of this leg getting stuffed down and then doing some passing side. So I'm keeping my knee into my chest here, and then waiting to see what comes to me. Usually it's the arm. You know, he's trying to do some kind of passing and such. So I can be pummeling to the inside and start making this life very difficult. Fighting an arm against a leg. A leg's about 3 times stronger than an arm usually. So that's hard work for him, heavy work for him to be dealing with this. This is of course going deeper all the time, pulling in. Everything is in nice and close. And then from here, you have, as I was saying, the different positions. Sorry, positions for your feet, I should say. So it can be here, foot on the hip, someone's on the shoulder, hooking. So remember, hooks pull, soles of the feet usually push. You know, so you're pulling in sometimes, pushing, depending on what he's doing. And it's a very nice position, of course. This one, you can go for your outside delahivas. You can start setting up your spider stuff. It's just as a general reset position. Coming back to here, it's always a tiring and a threat to his posture. Okay, so what I'll get you to do with a partner is get into the position and just play with your partner in terms of different pummeling with the arm, trying to, you know, stuff the leg down and just looking for the different leg positions that you can make him tired out by pummeling against arms against legs, which is kind of a losing battle. So just play at the position now for 3 minutes. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3. So there's a few fundamental things for the guard player versus the guard passer. I want to connect to him and he wants to break the connections. So it's nice when I have 4 point, I have 2 legs, 2 hands, thank goodness. When I want to connect them to him. He wants to disconnect them. So anytime I have 4 connections, it's usually good for me. And when he has broken those and he's reducing those connections down to 3, 2, whatever, that's good for him. So that little drill, that's all we're doing with that. It's just looking where, as my opponent deals with one, we're looking for a new place that it goes. Or here, or this or that. Okay, we're just playing around with this. My knees are, remember, when I'm hooking in, this is good for pulling in. So remember, pulling your knees to your chest is usually good, because that's also occupying the space that he'd like to occupy. So if I'm extending myself, be careful of doing that. Just watching some of you are tending to extend yourself a little bit too much, and that's giving him the access to the prime real estate between my hip and my armpit, let's say, to hold me down or whatever he wants to do his guard pass. So when in doubt, pull your knees into your chest. So then they'll come to you. If he's interested in passing, he's probably going to come to you, so that's okay. And then I find my spot I'm looking for. So just beware of being out here in space looking for things. Keep it close to you. It will come to you eventually. And then you've got the nice moves that you like bringing forward. So you all have different guard styles, and you have but a few different principles to think about. For your guard sweeps or submissions is, I like to break his posture, ideally get his head below his hips. That's usually good for me. I like to spread his stance, so his feet are really wide apart, so it's hard for him to redistribute his balance. Remember, if your feet are close together, it's easy for me to lift one foot off the ground, right? Because I can shift my head over that and maintain the column. But if my feet are really wide apart, and then one of the feet gets, I can't get my head back over the base, you know, in time. So spreading the feet is usually good when you're underneath. Okay, so when in doubt, you're looking to break his posture down, break his head down below his hips, spread his posture, or spread his stance, I should say, his feet. Spread his posture. Spread his feet, and then of course, if I'm looking to sweep, I'm looking to block one of his basing arms or feet to sweep him in the direction, depending on the direction I want to bring. Okay, so looking at a few of these. I'm here, we're fighting around here. Okay, first one, spreading is pulling the head down, getting the posture broken as far as possible. And I'm not pushing him away. I can stretch him out to bring him in because we're getting tension in here. So you can imagine the tension when someone's trying to pass and they're trying to knock your legs from one side to another. You've tension here, so you're getting a bit of this action, which, you know, with a good uke, good training partner, you'll feel. So from here, I'm going to look to put my foot on his leg and push his leg out. We have a lot of tension here in both the jacket and in my leg, and I'm stretching him out. If he doesn't put his foot down, for some reason his hand is tied up or whatever, he'll be swept over to that side. So there's no option but to put his hand down, doing the job of the foot on that side, okay? I'm keeping everything stretched out and in tension. From here now that his foot or his hand is occupied, I can stick my leg over his shoulder. Don't be in a hurry to let go of this grip. I'm keeping this pulled in. My heel is curling down heavy, putting weight into the back of his shoulders. I'm going from being straight in line to switching to that nice 90-degree angle as much as I can. Okay, I'm keeping control with everything here. This arm here now is nice to start to look for my own, sometimes the back of his head, but ultimately my own shin, clamping everything nice and close. Once I have something like this, I'm looking to close the triangle, okay? Heels close to here. Here, if I'm having trouble closing it, you might need to make more of an angle. Bring yourself over to this direction, bring this to here, and close the triangle, okay? So I'm here. What am I doing? I'm breaking the posture, spreading the stance, okay? Forcing a hand to one side, up, over, keep the posture broken as soon as possible, here and here. You go under the arm sometimes. Against people who are standing up, you can go under the leg. You know, you just all about making that 90-degree angle, but whatever you feel necessary to make that angle. Here, a little crunch in the abs, keep the pressure, keep everything close, and just a small circle here. Okay? Beware of opening this to make a big sweeping circle, okay? That can make everything go wrong, so keep everything nice and close here. And it's just a little swivel in here, keeping the heel and knee close together. Don't do this. Oh. All right? Okay. Let's give this one a go then. Thank you very much. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. So, this is just one of many options, of course. It's just showing the example of, or one example of, you know, what happens when you can break his posture, spread his feet up wide apart, and start to isolate or bring one hand or arm out of the equation. Okay, so in this case, we're forcing to put weight into the arm instead of trapping it like often we'll wrap up their arm for some sweep or other. In this case, we're making him lose his arm by having to commit his weight into it, or else he falls over. So that's how we're getting the arm out of it. Because in the past, I used to do this technique, and I could get away with just going. I was here, and often I just go straight into this, and that's a nice option to do too. Where I'm here, and I hip up into it, shoot my leg over, and drop down into it. And I get away with this one quite a lot. But lately I found that guys are getting good at defending it, and I really have to start to get this arm out of the equation more. So that's why straightening them out and getting that huge tension and forcing weight into that arm is a good option. Okay, at any point that arm comes off, of course, he's going to roll over. It's a sweep over to that side. We're bringing him over to this direction. Okay, just on a side note, if they force their head to this direction, to this direction, making it really hard for me to get over his shoulder, then you're looking at Omoplata territory, which I'm not going to cover today, but just so you know, that's where you'll start to go when they start forcing their. They can't do everything in 1 hour, so we're going to go the armbar, Juji Gatani, Sengaku Jimmy, arm lock triangle route today, okay? But just so you know, if they're making life difficult by leaning the other way, then it's probably Omoplata time. Okay, so for upright guard even, we're here, setting up the position. Like I say, oftentimes you can shoot over and get away with that, but against a lot of wily opponents have trouble doing it, so instead stuff their leg out, disrupt their base, make life more difficult for them, and then opens up other options too, of course. You can start doing other guards and this and that because you've spread their feet so wide apart. Start setting up your whatever guard you like, really. Okay, so he's put weight into this, shooting over, heel heavy. Don't be in a hurry to let go of this collar grip. Why? Because I want to keep his head pulled down, his posture broken. The first defense everyone does to a triangle is just to posture up and bust up out of it. So at that initial phase, before I've got everything nice and cinched up, keep a nice grip on this for the moment. All right, so I'm here. Now, what I'm doing next is reaching up. This hand had been on the sleeve. I'm reaching up to grab my shin. Sometimes the back of the head, as I said, back of the shin, and that's when I let go of this one. So now I've got a nice closed loop, much harder for to burst out of now, or much more difficult at least. This heel and knee are close together. Remember, if I open this leg, it's an invitation for his elbow to be retreated back towards his ribs, and now he's busted a big gap in my triangle. Okay, when the walls is gone. So we're trying to keep this thigh and heel and knee connected. We're here. We're crunching the side here, going underneath, be standing up, go under the leg, boom, this kind of thing, and then just a small circle to go over. Okay, so I think everyone's good at that. A few general things. Remember, don't point your toes in the triangle. Make your feet like so it doesn't slide off the end of the leg. So keep it like so, and then heels heavy, pinch your knees together. Here's your triangle. Okay, so everyone's good with that, right? So let's move into the juji gatami, arm lock. So same kind of thing. I spread them out, force the weight onto the hand. Step. Look what I'm doing here. I'm pulling my knee towards my ribs, so always a good option. I'm going to get over something, shoot it over, heavy. Let go of this here. Now we're starting to get here to close the triangle, but for whatever reason, it's starting to stop going our way. I'm going to bring my knee, again, not opening the space, but just bringing my knee back, again, reversing it back towards my ribs. This will help to gather his arm in. All right, so I'm bringing my knee towards my ribs, helps to gather the arm, and then it's just a small journey over the head, across the ankles, heels heavy, and you can continue to go underneath for the juji, for the armbar, or maybe he rolls over as he likes. Go deep, hand to your collar. Oh, there's your juji. Okay? You want to try that one next? Want to see it again? You happy enough? One more time. Okay. So we're here. Another option into it from upright guard. We're playing upright guard. Look to get a collar grip, collar and sleeve. Pull them into your guard. Boom. Establish your control points. You're battling them away. Boom, boom, boom. Spread them out. Force weight onto his hand. Knee comes in. Shoot over his shoulder. Start making the angle. Heavy heels. Heavy elbow towards the ribs. Grab your own shin. Pivot point rather than opening. Look for the triangle. Make more of an angle. Try and get the triangle. Still doesn't quite work. Knee comes back. Gathers his arm. Crosses over. Actually, like this. And here. Okay. If he comes all the way over, you can put either arm through as you like. But usually I go this way. Grab your own collar and juji. Okay. Pinch your knees together. All right. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
No blood, so everything's perfect.
Okay, so whether it's battling here, spread them out, get them to put weight onto the arm, up, shoot up. Remember, that's the problem, the posture problem. So this hand on the back of the collar, you shouldn't give up too easily. And also, the further deep, like I want to get it right on the label to get his spine, on the line of his spine to break his posture down. We're going here, turning the angle, knee, here, creating all this, okay? From here, you might be turning his arm. Remember, pushing in the direction of the baby finger, you can push it towards your hip, depending what he's doing with this, all right? Now, rewinding a little bit, yes, when he goes this direction, sorry, we'll go back to the beginning a little bit. So, when I was here, and I spread my partner out, and I'm looking to shoot my leg over his shoulder. To do the arm lock and the triangle, It relies upon me getting his head pointing in this direction and me getting on this, it's actually more or less a 90-degree angle to him. All right, to be able to do both the triangle or the arm lock. My partner knows this, of course, so he wants to deny me that that angle and brings his head the other direction to deny me the ability to get my body to that 90-degree angle to apply those two submissions. So we have to have an answer then to that side, so we'll have a look at the omoplata from there. So I'm here, I'm spreading my partner, I've spread him out I should say. I'm looking here to get over the shoulder, but he's making life very difficult for me by turning his head this way. I'm looking to keep his arm on the inside on here, keep it all attached to me. I'm hipping up, okay, this is important to fill the space, and I'm bringing my hip towards his armpit, like so. This hand here I'm trying to stuff into my jeans, these are my jeans, into my jeans pocket, and stuffing in here, okay? Again, keeping collar control for as long as is necessary. Okay, this leg then is then swung over to here, okay? And I'm keeping this stuffed so you can't withdraw his arm too easily, all right? Then from here, I'm simply sitting up, and I can put my arm over his back, but more often than not people will roll, and I just take it as a sweep, to be honest. And then I'm happy to take a top position. You can try and finish him by flattening him out and all that, but let's today just use it as a sweep. Okay, so it works. I'm here, up, spread him out, and he won't cooperate. He doesn't want to be triangled or arm locked, so I'm here. Foot on this hip allows me to step on his hip and bring my hips up towards his armpit, filling this space. This is looking to be stuffed down, and from here, using this foot on his hip as well as a little push off, I swing my leg over his shoulder. Straight away I'm extending this to go heavy on his shoulder, okay? Does this make sense? One more time? You happy to do it? You guys do it. Oh, one more time? Okay. Spread them out. Now, I'd like to do the stuff we've done already, but he's leaning too far this side to make that possible. Hip up into his armpit. Head down as always, breaking his posture. Up, stuffing this arm, swinging this over, and extending this leg to go heavy. Something like that. Okay? Okay, guys, let's go. 1, 2, 3. So, just getting back to collar and sleeve in general, we went off on just one branch of the tree of different options that you have. That's the beauty of the position. You can switch between X guard, half X, your spider guards. All are available from this reset position. And that was just an example of the trifecta. You might call it the armbar, triangle, omoplata, sweep off the same position. So, where were we? So back to this position in general. You know, so these are ones when I have him, where I have his head down, his hip below his hips, which is obviously very advantageous to me. If I feel like he's starting to, you know, drop his weight, you know, I like to have, again, I can switch back into an a hook underneath with my foot that had been pulling, go underneath, again looking to pull down on his head and get this arm on the inside. The pressure of this leg on the inside of this arm is very useful for pressurizing and encouraging him to move certain ways. So don't just have this opening all the time. Keep this pushing on the inside, and his arm on the inside of this position is ideal, with everything close here, not out in space. Everything is being pulled down. I'm trying to bring his head down below his hips, and I pull my knees in and something like this. A little sweep out, or a little sumo sweep. So anytime you're here, you're pummeling around. The beauty of this is I can kind of uproot him quite well. So even if he starts to drop his weight down, I can still, usually by pulling my knees into my chest, which is that constant pressure of pulling in, this can it can switch into a De La Riva hook as well, if you like those kind of things. But for now, keep it on the hip. here, pull my knees in, pull his head beyond his base, pulling his head down and loading him in like so, and then just the foot that's on the hip is the one now that extends, and bring him, depending on what direction you feel he's leaning in, you then follow him over. Okay? It's a simple one.
Can I ask something?
Yeah, please.
Because I have a neck injury. I don't really love doing that to other people as well. So is there any idea in doing something like that where you just end up putting the person to their side?
Yeah, they can, absolutely. And as you see, we're shoulder rolling.
Yeah.
At no point am I going over my neck, for sure. I'm doing your...
Yeah, I know.
I'm doing my standard, your warm-up, rolling, tumble, or... Yeah,
I know, in sparring sometimes like these things can happen.
and even pulling down his head, I'm putting him into a safe position.
Yeah.
Because for me to make it possible, I need to break his posture and get his head down. So if I just kind of kick him and bring him forward, maybe he could fall on his face. But because I'm folding his head down, I'm turning him into a ball shape, he's going to roll over and not land on his head. Because if his head is up, probably I won't be able to bring him forward because his posture is up. So unless, he's really small and I'm really big, I can kind of just leg extend him or something. But usually it relies on me folding him into a rolling shape, and it's really a rollover that happens rather than into a face plant. But work with safe partners. I've got a good uke, so depends who you work with. So I'll go through it one more time.
There's an armbar. You can helicopter armbar.
Yeah.
So
Because I keep this.
yeah, the good thing about it, you see, they're going to post against you. Oftentimes people don't want to be pulled forward, so hands start to get posted away from him. He's then become vulnerable because his limbs are extended away from his body. He's always looking to be like this, but I want him to be out like this. So that's the good thing about starting to pull people forward and break their punch. But they get, I don't want to be rough, and start sticking their hands out and becoming vulnerable. So, anyways, as I was saying, if you fall forward in his head, yeah, it could be dangerous, but I'm pulling him down and extending up. So he's rolling onto his back. Okay? So let's give this one a try. 4 or 5 minutes. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. It's push and pull and opposite action, reaction, kazushi. I can't force one thing if he's going the opposite direction. It's not efficient. It probably won't work. So you have to have options for opposite directions. So let's have a look. So where was I? I was here, and we're getting our collar sleeve guard. We're doing all this. So common reactions, of course, is that he either pushes into me and wants to continue passing, or he starts to move away from me. Yes, and that's really what's going to happen. So the first ones you were looking at really was where I'm pulling him in. The one we just looked at, I'm pulling him in close to me. And it's all about this hook coming to my chest, or my knee coming to my chest on the hook side to gather him close to me. While at the same time, a deep collar grip. Remember, down here is going to allow him to have good posture. I'm trying to get as deep in here as I can get, in here. And this is pulling down to get his head below his hips. This is keeping his hips up. Because if he can squat, if my partner can squat, now I can't do this anymore. So that's why this foot is on the hip to try and keep his hip up. And then me get his head down and I can bring him over then. Okay, so that's the tension that you need to get in this for that one to work. Now, my partner knows that I like to bring them forward for all the things we've just done. So when we have someone here, he knows I want to pull him in to do also. So when I feel pull back against me, this is when we look for we need some options, because the ones you've just done, like the sumigaeshi, the arm locks, won't work if he's reversing. Okay, these all are ones are working when I'm pulling them forward and they're trying to pass guard by moving forward. But now he's trying to move back to disengage and get his posture back up and everything. So he's leaning back, putting his weight into his heels. So you'll know when you'll feel that option, okay? So by doing that, we're switching. We're going for something like an ankle pick or single leg potentially as well, but today in 5 minutes we'll have a quick look at the ankle picks. So we were here and we were pulling forward with all our might. We've got crazy tension. You know, it's hard to recreate it in slow motion while we're speaking. But remember, we've got that tension of he's terrified of being pulled forward because of all these threats that I have posed to him of sweeps and submissions. So we've developed this great tension of him pushing back and with all his life trying to resist this. Okay, I'm switching. Okay. To get into some kind of position, as you can see, that I can come forward. So I had been something like this. He's helping me part of the way. I'm a bit of a technical stand-up, but also he's helping me because he's pulling back a bit. At the same time, so I'm switching to this type of position. I keep my collar, which gives direction to his head. If his head is over this foot here, that means his weight's over that foot. My elbow's pointing to that foot. I'm going ankle pick, as we go, something like this. Okay, if I come up and the other leg is forward, now if I'm here and his head is like this, I can go for this one, start to be pulling for this one. If he steps off it, then the other one is vulnerable too. So depending where their head is where their weight is. And so, whereas if I were to do it, if I'm here and his head's over this side and I'm picking up this one, it doesn't really work so well now. My arms are spread apart. And I'm not in a strong position because I can pick this up because his head's on that side. It doesn't work. Okay, you can go into your single leg and touch. But in terms of the ankle pick, I'm looking for where his head is at. Usually look if my elbow is pointing over that foot. That's where his weight is. Yeah. You want to give it a go? Okay, a couple of minutes and then we can review it. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3. So I'm here, my main thing today, look, we're talking about collar and sleeve guard. It's a very versatile position. If you're main guard and you're looking for something, you're not sure what to look for, go for this. It usually will lead to other good things. So, and remember, points of contact. Yeah, both feet, both hands in contact with him. You're usually winning in guard, and then we start separating things, breaking things off. That's bad for me. So, and look for. We did two things. We did opposite directions, push and pull. So if you're pulling in and they're reversing, look at things that work the other way. If they're coming in, look for things that bring them forward. So it's using their own energy. There's tons of options there. You can work in your own guards, and from Spider, Delahiva, they're all available from that kind of waypoint. So it's a nice thing if you aren't a huge guard player. Like I usually consider myself a top player. It's a good guard to adopt because it's versatile and reasonably simple to get along with. Okay, so. Thank you very much, Evan, for coming. I particularly appreciate at midweek or Thursday when all your laundry is becoming such a hassle and you see, V class in the afternoon. That's, it doesn't work on my laundry schedule. So I really appreciate you all making the effort to come today and have your laundry done, the whole lot. So thank you very much for coming to my class, and please grab me at an open mat if you've any questions. I had to, run out of time already, but I had to move quickly, so if I skipped your question or if anything you'd like to ask me or share with me, please, I'm sure you've bits you can add into that. Let me know if you're an open mat, and I'd appreciate that a lot. Okay, so thank you very much for coming, guys.